You're up.
Good afternoon and welcome to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Ballybet, a sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns, now live in Ohio. It is a First Friday. Nathan Zagura, Jason Gibbs with you at the Cross Country Mortgage Campus here in Berea. And the Browns have just concluded their final practice of the week. Next up, Thursday night football and a chance to punch their ticket, or as Denzel Ward's foundation say, make them know your name for the Cleveland Browns as a playoff team in 2023. This is a nice little Denzel Ward homage collab that I'm wearing today, by the way. I'll tweet out the link in a little bit, so be sure to check that out. Denzel was wearing it today. A lot of the players in the locker room were wearing it today, so it's a new drop, so be sure to check that out. We had this yesterday at the very end of the show. The Jets had ruled out Zach Wilson. Trevor Siemian will start at quarterback for the Jets. Siemian in his career, 14-17 as a starter, 58% completion, 7,420 yards, 43 touchdowns, 31 picks, and a 79 rating. Last week was his first start of the year for the Jets. They would defeat, in rather dramatic fashion, they would defeat the Washington Commanders. Now, they were up 27-7 at one point. Commanders came all the way back and took the lead, and then a 54-yard field goal from Greg Zuerlein won it as time expired. In that game, he completed 55% of his passes for 217 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, a 64.8 rating, no sacks, 4 carries, and 18 yards, and a fumble lost in that one. So that's what Trevor Siemian did there. He was a 7th-round pick of Denver back in 2015. Amari Cooper named the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Cooper, 11 catches, 265 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He joins Dustin Hopkins, who won Special Teams Player of the Week in Week 6 and 7, and Myles Garrett, who won the Defensive Player of the Week in Week 7, as weekly award winners this season. Cooper has now won 4 weekly awards, 2 in the AFC, 2 in the NFC. He is the first Browns player to win this award since Baker Mayfield in 2020 in that dramatic Week 7 come-from-behind victory over the Cincinnati Bengals. Injury updates off of yesterday's practice, and we hope to have really the full injury report for you by the time we get off the air today. For the Browns, DNP did not practice. Corey Bojorquez quad, Amari Cooper heel, rest, he's fine. D-Hop hamstring, Obo Okoronkwo pec. Everybody else was on the field in some capacity for the Browns yesterday. For the Jets, not practicing Greg Zuerlein, their excellent kicker. They might need a new kicker as well this week due to a quad injury, and Jeremy Ruckert out with a concussion. Those are your hot topics of the day, presented by Vivid Seats, an official fan experience partner of the Cleveland Browns. And so we all know what the stakes are. The Browns, they need to go on Thursday night and win. They do that, they punch their ticket into the 2023 playoffs. Now, here are all the scenarios that get the Cleveland Browns in this week. Win on Thursday. Just that simple. Win, and you're in.
In theory. We like that.
Yeah, we like that. Control your own destiny. Or Buffalo loses to the New England Patriots. Doesn't feel likely. Jacksonville loses to Carolina. Doesn't feel all that likely. Indianapolis loses to Las Vegas, and Houston loses to Tennessee, or the Steelers lose on the road at Seattle. Any of those scenarios, those are 5, and the Browns are in to the playoffs. But obviously the easiest one, and the one that the Browns have the most control over, is taking care of business and winning their game on Thursday night against this Jets team. And the Jets come in on this one 6-9. They are 3rd in the AFC East. This is a team that is the worst offense in the National Football League. You look at their average pass, get into the expected points added, get into some of those next-gen stats. Dead last in EPA per pass play, dead last in EPA per run play. They've allowed the second highest pressure rate in the National Football League this season, so they have not been good. Now, defensively, that's where they are very good. They are one of the best defenses in the league, top 10 in terms of EPA allowed against both the run and the pass. They have been stifling to opposing offenses of late. Great on the back end. They've got pretty much everything that you need. This football team has it. Sauce Gardner, an elite corner. They've got guys who can get to the quarterback up front, and so that has allowed them to be a very, very effective team this season on the defensive side of the ball. And I'll get some of those rankings for you in just a second, but it's a good team. So here they are. Jets on offense, 31st total offense, 30th passing offense, 28th rushing offense, 30th scoring offense. They've allowed the second most sacks. They are the worst team in the league on third downs. They're the worst team in the league in the red zone. Wow. Not great. But then you flip it around.
Good for us.
Defensively, here's where they're pretty good. 6th overall defense, 2nd passing defense, 14th scoring defense. They are the number 7 red zone defense. Now, they have given the ball away 30 times this year. Third most in the league. Browns obviously lead the league in that. 32nd. Jets not a good time of possession team. The Browns will have a big advantage there. Browns are number 1 in 33 minutes in time of possession. Browns are also tied for first in the NFL with 25 takeaways. The Browns have been very good taking the football away this year. Unfortunately, we've just given it away, which puts our differential where it is. They will be without their leading passer, leading completion percentage, leader passing rating, leading in passing touchdowns, Zach Wilson. He is out. That's why Trevor Siemian starts. They do have 2 very good young second-year players. Breece Hall is their leading rusher, 732 yards, 4.2 a carry, 4 touchdowns. Last week, he ran for 95 and 2 touchdowns and had 12 catches for 96. Pretty good. 191 total yards, 2 touchdowns. He's been a very good catcher out of the backfield, second on their team in receptions with 65. And then there's Garrett Wilson, 88 catches, 58 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Garrett Wilson just 42 yards away from the second straight 1,000-yard season to start his career. But this team is all about the defense. Like I said, they've got a couple of linebackers who have more than 120 tackles in C.J. Mosley and Quincy Williams. They've got guys who can get to the quarterback up front. Jermaine Johnson has 6.5 sacks. John Franklin Myers, 3.5. Solomon Thomas, 5. Quinnen Williams, 3.5. So they've got guys that can get after the quarterback. And then Bryce Huff leads the team with 8. They did lose Quentin Jefferson last week, and he had 6 sacks at the defensive tackle position, was playing very good football for them. But they got Sauce Gardner on the back end. Jordan Whitehead, the former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, leads the team with 4 picks. Tony Adams has 2 picks. Their other safety, DJ Reed's having a nice season. So it's a tough defense. And so for the Browns, I think this is one of those games, though, Thursday night, coming off of the Christmas holiday, super short week. The Jets have to travel here, where I think that the Jets, they're at a disadvantage. Think about it. Christmas Monday, Tuesday. They're traveling today.
Yeah.
And then they have to play tomorrow. That's really no time to get focused.
That would suck if we had to travel today.
Oh, my God. Brutal. Not to mention, not great outside.
Not sure how much better it's going to get between now and tomorrow.
What's the forecast, Gibby? What do you got? What are you seeing?
I can tell you right now. Just some rain showers during the day, but not awful at night. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be in the 30s, mid to upper 30s. Okay. I mean, you would take that on December 28th.
Sure.
Looks like the weather's going to be out.
Yeah.
It's the perfect night for a celebration.
It is the perfect night for a celebration. Hoff's going to be in town. We're going to be there, Gibby. Jim Donovan back on the call.
Hey, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
Well, for
just
the fans,
pace yourself tomorrow night, kids.
Water every other.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
Give yourself a little pace.
Can't go wrong. Never hurt anybody. By the way, as I look outside at this beautiful mural that graces the wall, or I guess it's really just a picture that graces the wall across from us, the great Nick Chubb. Happy birthday to him. 28? 28 years old for number 24.
Young, spry 28.
Yeah, so, man, it's wild, though. You think about this football team and all that it's done and the resilience it showed and the things it's overcome. Not having Nick Chubb, no Deshaun Watson, Flacco's playing great. But the Nick Chubb one is the one that I think we're really starting to feel. The Browns have struggled to run the football of late. I mean, struggled to run the football of late.
This is a good test for that running game. At some point, the weather is not going to be conducive to throwing the football. You have to get some running going.
Well, if you look at it, and the Browns have played some good run defenses, to be fair. That is true. But it has been tough. And you think about this season, we open the year, season-high 206 yards rushing against the Bengals. Well, Nick Chubb. Next week, 198 yards against the Steelers, and you had at least a half of Nick Chubb, and then Jerome Ford ran for 100 yards in that one. 78 against the Titans, 93 against the Ravens. Then you come out of the bye week, and we really had the ground game going. 160 on the ground against the Niners, 150 on the ground against the Colts, 155 against Seattle, 113 against Arizona, 178 against the Baltimore Ravens. Then, now it's a tough period. 96 against the Steelers, 107 against Denver, aided by DTR's ability to run around a little bit. 87 Rams, 82 Jags, 29 Bears, 54 yards rushing against the Texans. So we have gone 4 straight games under 90 yards rushing. We had in the previous, 10-5? So that means in the previous 11 games, we had been held below 90 yards rushing as a team once. And we've done that the last 4. We had in the first 11 games of the season, we had 100 yards rushing or more 8 times. 2 of the times we didn't were 93 and 96. This is tough. Now, again, there are only so many yards out there. You could also say, hey, wait a second. How many 300-yard passing games did we have at the beginning of the season? Not many. 0. We've had 3 in a row.
What would you like to see? What's the number? Is there a number?
It's more about efficiency for me than it is about a number. We have been running for under 3 yards a carry now for like 3 weeks in a row. You got to just be able to pick up 4 yards. If we were at 4 yards a carry, no problem. We're throwing the ball so effectively, there's nothing wrong with it. Keep throwing it. I have no problem with it. In fact, the Browns have 240, 307, 348, 364. Now, that's not just pure passing yards. That's net, sacks taken out of it. The Browns, prior to that, only had one game with 240 or more, and that was the game against Tennessee Titans, 263, where Deshaun, I think, threw for 289 yards, 27 of 33. Again, these are net passing yards, so that affects this because the sacks come out of it. But that's where you've been at. Now, the good news, we're scoring. We can score the football. We've done so very effectively. We got 9 touchdowns the last 4 games, 8 the last 3 games. But that run game is starting to concern me just a little bit. And you look at, Jerome Ford is now under 4 yards a carry for the season. Kareem Hunt's at 3.0. Your leading rusher on a per-carry basis is Pierre Strong, 4.4. But then I go back to, Nick Chubb was averaging 6.1. Deshaun Watson, 5.5. So those two were a big part of what you were able to do as a running football team. Obviously, Nick Chubb the biggest. And so you're missing that now. And that's something that we can still win. But that's something we've got to improve at some point this season. We've got to be able in the postseason be able to run the ball because it is especially helpful when you actually are doing okay, right? When you're ahead, you want to be able to run out. Now, the good news is this Jets team, 24th against the run, giving up 126 yards. So hopefully this is a week, and like I said, they're down one of their big defensive tackles. This is the week where hopefully we can get that ground game going and really kind of normalize it back because this is a very tough team to throw the football against.
Yeah,
very tough.
Get to the lead, keep the foot on the pedal, keep it going, and then when it's time to run in the fourth quarter, you want to be able to just run out the clock.
Right.
So we don't have a 45-minute fourth quarter with 6 minutes left.
And that's what we had done so well as a team. We are so good at getting, bringing in Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, both of them fresh, and running for 100 yards in the fourth quarter to salt away these games. So it's different this year, and that's okay. Different is not necessarily bad, but it is different this year for what this team is able to do, and that's just something I want to see. I'd love to see a little bit more Pierre Strong. There's just something about him to me that feels explosive, but we'll see. Hopefully Jerome Ford and Kareem and Pierre all get plenty of touches in this one because that means the Browns are doing pretty well on offense and able to really go out there and get
What do you want to see? All right, so we talked about the run game from an offensive standpoint. What do we need to see from a defensive standpoint? The defense is playing lights out, but is there something that you'd like to see?
We're taking the ball away. We're sacking the quarterback. We're getting off the field on third downs. I mean, our defense is doing everything it needs to do, especially given how good it is at home. I mean, this defense is so good at home. Just keep doing what you're doing. If there's one area, if you want to get nitpicky, it's the red zone. We're 30th ranked. We're the 30th ranked red zone defense. That's odd. It feels like it's an anomaly at this point, but it's not an anomaly at this point because it's been the case all season. And that's why you're the number 1 total defense, number 1 passing defense, but the 13th scoring defense because we don't force enough field goal attempts. We give up touchdowns. Even in the game against Houston, they got down there twice. They scored both times. Now, that was against the backups. The starters allowed exactly 0, goose egg, nothing in that game. But that's the one area. You want to be able to win in the playoffs, we have got to improve our red zone defense, and we've got to improve our ability to run the football at times. Now, I'm happy throwing the ball all over the yard because our guy, Joe Flacco, is absolutely – he can do it, and he's slinging it, and he is doing – great. And so keep it going, Joe Flacco. Hopefully recovered from getting slimed earlier today. All right, when we come back, we will meet the Jets, a little more thorough examination of this football team. We've got higher or lower coming as well at 1:30. Coming up in hour number 2, linebacker coach Jason Tarver joins the show live in studio. We will go around the league as we've got a lot of different quarterback changes around the National Football League, including a big shocker. And then 2:30, Mailbag Wednesday. So get it going. Get your questions in.
Yeah, we got to move everything up a day.
Use the
tomorrow's
hashtag,
a game day. We're getting you ready.
Use the hashtag AskCBD. AskCBD. Tweet us at Browns_Daily. Get those questions in. All right, we'll be back with a Meet the Jets edition here of Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Ballybet, a sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Heading to the Browns' regular season home finale against the Jets, be sure you have the most up-to-date version of the Browns app downloaded so you can participate in the halftime whiteout light show presented by Dude Wipes. Yeah, Gibby?
There's that you got to take care of, and trust me, you're going to want to take care of that because it's going to be an electric night. There are some huge things planned, and you will want to be in your seat early.
Yes,
early.
Yes.
Hey, there we go.
Yes. Get in
I'm
there.
producing, I'm running TV, I'm running everything.
You're doing it all.
You're going to want to be in your seat. I would say you want to be in your seat no later than 8 o'clock. Kickoff is at 8:15. Get in your seats. You want to be there for the introductions. The dog pound captain thing is so secretive, they're not telling anybody in the building. We can't find out.
No.
We have tried.
All I know is it's going to be big.
Yeah.
It's going to be big.
We've asked and have been told to leave the office.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I'm just saying, like, it's going to be a very special night on the lakefront, and you're going to want to be there to take in all of it.
That's exactly right. Because listen, this is a big game. This is something that's so special for the city. But get in there. A lot is planned to give back to you guys, and then hopefully the product on the field. This 10-5 team gets to 11-5, and all of a sudden we know that this team is playing in that second season. As Kevin Spain says, they've earned their second season.
Well, you said it yesterday. Like in 2020, there were 10,000 fans that got to be in that stadium that day.
Yep.
10,000.
Yep.
Going to be a lot more tomorrow night.
Not only that, there were no fans at our playoff win.
None. Actually, two of my buddies somehow ended up in and ended up downstairs almost in the locker room. I don't really know how they got there.
All right, there were under 1,000 people there.
Yes, they were friends and family.
Yes, that's it.
I still don't know how they got in or got down there. But
me neither. I had another one of my buddies was there, and I'm like, how are you
because
here?
we weren't even there.
Well, I was.
Well, you were there.
I was.
You were the only one.
I was the only one. I was there, and that was magical. But this is a chance to be magical again here with everybody there. So what's the task at hand? We told you already. You got to beat the New York Jets. By the way, I heard another Melland performance is coming up at this game.
And yes, and we will do everything in our power to take that live.
Yeah. We got to make sure that's known for the people.
Yeah, they bringing her back. Good for him. Good for her.
Yeah, it's great. All right, let's meet the Jets. Robert Saleh, the head coach in his third season, 17-32 career record. He has already been told he will be back next year.
I feel like he should, given when you lose.
They're still 6-9.
A top 5 quarterback.
They're 6-9 with anemic quarterback play.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, the GM maybe should be on the hot seat there for not doing better to.
Well, whoever was responsible for not calling Joe Flacco, those people should be in a little bit of trouble.
I would agree.
Those people, that should be, it's a demerit at the very least. All right, series record, Browns lead 15-14. Teams are 2-2 the last 4 games. We got people race walking around here, Gibby.
Yeah, not running, not a full-on run.
No, a race walk or a saunter there. Last meeting, don't need to talk about it. League rankings. Jets, 32nd total offense, 31st passing, 28th rushing, 30th scoring, not good. Defense, 3rd total, 2nd pass, 24th rush, 14th scoring. They have a -8 turnover differential, which, by the way, is not good. In fact, that's worse than ours. We are negative. I'm pretty sure we're -7. Yeah, we're 27th in the league. They're -8, 29th in the league. But a solid defense nonetheless. Very good defense. Number 2 against the pass. Number 4 in total yards. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're a full day defensively.
Yeah. Jets have one of the best cornerback rooms in the NFL, much like the Browns. Hard to pass against them. Sauce Gardner, who was a first-team All-Pro as a rookie. You know, people don't even really throw it in his direction anymore. It's kind of Revis Island-y. He's got no picks, 9 passes defensed, forced fumble, 52 tackles. DJ Reed on the other side gets a lot more action. He's got a pick and 7 passes defensed. And then Michael Carter is an excellent nickel. If you look at kind of the efficiency allowed by slot corners, Greg Newsome, I think, is number 1 or number 2. Michael Carter's top 5, so he's been a good player for them as well. He's got 7 passes defensed. Their safeties, Jordan Whitehead's got 4 picks, 9 passes defensed, 89 tackles. He's having a heck of a year. And the other safety is Tony Adams. He's got 2 picks, 3 passes defensed, 72 tackles, 4 tackles for loss. And then they go dime sometimes. Ashton Davis steps in, and Ashton Davis has 2 picks, 5 passes defensed, 3 fumble recoveries as the third safety.
Do you see them maybe taking one of those corners and putting him on Njoku?
No, their safeties can cover, and their linebackers can cover. Their linebackers can cover very well for that position. Let me pull this up here. I have this. C.J. Mosley and Quincy Williams are 2 of the best cover linebackers in the National Football League. So far, all these stats are about how bad their offense is. All right. PFF coverage grade among top 5 qualified linebackers. Quincy Williams has the number 1 PFF coverage grade at linebacker in the league. C.J. Mosley is number 3. And I'll tell you, when I was doing the boards and going through the stats on Quincy Williams, the guy sounds like he's in the secondary. He's got an interception, 10 passes defensed. Like that's a good season for a corner to have 10 passes defensed.
That's actually better than their corners.
Yeah. He leads the team with 10 passes defense. Sauce Gardner's second with 9. He's got 124 tackles, 15 tackles for a loss. At the pick, I said, and a team high 10 passes defense, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and 2 sacks. So he's having, it sounds to me like he's almost having a Pro Bowl year. It's very similar to our guy JOK. CJ Mosley's got 137 tackles, an interception, a forced fumble, 7 passes defensed, which is tied for fourth on the team. You got 10 with Williams, 9 with Whitehead, 9 with Gardner, and then Carter, DJ Reed, CJ Mosley have 7. But 17 passes defensed and 2 picks amongst your linebackers is pretty good. Just for like a little bit of a comparison sake, we're not even in that stratosphere. Now, we've got the picks thanks to JOK. We actually got 3 picks with our linebackers because Tox got 1. JOK's got 2. But in terms of getting our hands on passes the way that these guys are, no, we have not. That they seem to be unique in the National Football League in that regard. And then you come up to their front. It's a good front. Again, they generate pressure as a defense 41%. I want to say they are third in the NFL. Yeah, 42%. We're second, 43%. So this is a team that can get after the quarterback. They've got edges, Jermaine Johnson, 6.5 sacks. Bryce Huff, 8 sacks. On John Franklin Myers, he has 3.5 sacks. They got Solomon Thomas in the middle with 5, and then Quinnen Williams, who's the Pro Bowler stud for the football team. He's got 3.5 sacks, but leads the team with 18 quarterback hits. Also, pretty amazingly, has an interception, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and a safety this season. So Quinnen Williams, obviously a very, very good player.
So on the offensive line, tight ends tomorrow night for us, running backs, going to be pretty important to help our offensive line.
Yeah, you're going to have to do that. You might have to chip a little bit, but really our tackles and it's been, I wouldn't say a problem spot, but it hasn't been great. Last week, for example, James Hudson 1 sack, 8 pressures allowed. Christian no sacks, 5 pressures allowed. We've got to get that going, I think, which would be important. Quinnen Williams, we mentioned, is a Pro Bowler and All-Pro. They've got, Sauce Gardner was a Pro Bowler and an All-Pro last year. So it's a good team. They have a lot of talented players. You think about the fact that Sauce Gardner, Jermaine Johnson, who has 6.5 sacks, Garrett Wilson, and Breece Hall all came out of the same draft class. That's crazy. And that's why they've been as good as they've been, honestly. They drafted well, added that talent in there. And remember, they signed Carl Lawson, and he's just got hurt, and he's not even a factor for them. But they've done a very good job of kind of constructing this thing, putting it together, and, they hit on those picks.
That is why it is maddening if they had just gotten average quarterback play.
Oh, yeah, they'd be –
They're a 9-win team right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This game has completely different implications. So last year, Sauce Gardner was a Pro Bowler, CJ Mosley was a Pro Bowler, and so was Quinnen Williams. So it's a talented team. And then they've got good special teams. Justin Hardy made the team as a special teamer. So he's considered one of the best in the league at that. So you notice none of those Pro Bowlers on the offensive side of the team. It's all defense and special teams, which is not a big surprise. So that's who the Jets are. We talked about Quinnen Williams. He was a first-team All-Pro last year, so was Sauce Gardner. They've got some studs out there, but their offense has been so anemic. It's been the worst offense in the NFL. 2023, it's hard to win in the NFL with the worst offense in the league, and so that's where they end up at. All right, OBM, the preferred copier provider, the preferred provider of copiers and document services for the Cleveland Browns, who can tackle any size office. That one gets me because when I used to have to read this all the time, it was always the preferred copier provider of the Cleveland Browns. Preferred provider of copiers and document services for the Cleveland Browns, who can tackle any size office. Call 216-485-2000 or visit ohiobusinessmachines.com. When we come back, a little higher or lower, a little better or worse with NFL Power Rankings via Josh Kendall and The Athletic. Let Tide Cleaners take care of your laundry and dry cleaning needs this holiday season. Enjoy $10 off of $40 or more all month long with code BROWNS10. Exclusions apply. Visit locally owned and operated Tide Cleaners in the greater Cleveland area and make the most of your holiday. Let's bring in Gibbe. Time now for a little higher or lower, better or worse NFL Power Rankings edition.
It's like two of us here, but that's all right.
Well,
we'll get through it.
You'll say what you think.
Exactly.
Everybody's gone.
Huh?
We had a starting five. We had a basketball team in here.
We're down to two.
Two. Heavy lifting.
Uno and
there's
Ocho
not
are
even, we
still
don't
on
have
the bench
media
here.
availability to give some nice press conferences or anything.
I think send Ocho to my doc today. I was like, get this nipped in the butt here. Let's go.
Yeah, struggling.
I feel bad for him.
I feel bad for him too. I think he's
Uno's Uno's turning the corner, but I was like, hey man, we got to keep everybody healthy.
I don't think he's well.
No. We're getting there though.
Yeah.
It is higher or lower. It's presented by our great friends at the Ohio Lottery. It's NFL Power Rankings via Josh Kendall and The Athletic. He also names an MVP for every team. So I figured we'd have a little fun here.
I like it.
Let's get things going. Mr. Carmen, hit it.
Higher or lower?
All right, number one, he's got Baltimore.
Okay.
And obviously his MVP, Lamar Jackson. Baltimore.
I want to guess the MVPs for the teams.
Okay, that's fine. We'll do that. I threw you a bone on that one.
Yep.
Not that you needed it.
No.
Lower or just right for the Baltimore Ravens?
I mean, they beat the Niners. I think the Niners are still the best team in the NFL. They just beat the Niners. They've got the best record, so I'm fine with it. I mean, you couldn't run a power poll and then have the Niners ahead of them right now. I just don't think that you could do that. So it makes sense to me.
I agree. It pains me. Todd Monken, the difference
We can
maker
beat
for
them. That's why we're sending Todd Monken with Justin Fields to the Atlanta Falcons next year. Arthur Smith.
I'm fine.
Terry
If we can
Bradshaw.
will that,
You see
that'd be
Terry
great.
Bradshaw was coming after him?
What's that?
Terry Bradshaw came after Arthur Smith hard.
Really?
Yeah, so he doesn't like him, doesn't trust him. Not a fan.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
The San Francisco 49ers are number 2.
All right, let me guess their
I
MVPs
was
when you
just
go
gonna
through each
say,
one.
what do you got?
McCaffrey.
What'd you say?
Christian McCaffrey.
And you got it.
Okay.
Next.
Higher or lower?
And that's just right for them.
Yeah. There wasn't even going to be a debate about that. Number 3, the Miami Dolphins. Give me an MVP for them.
Tyreek Hill.
All right, you're 3 for 3.
All right.
Really throwing up some things here. Next.
Higher or lower?
That takes us to number 4. Higher, lower, or just right. The Buffalo Bills, who beat the Los Angeles Chargers 24-22 on Saturday night. Hey, look, it doesn't matter how you win. It's that you win.
Yeah, that's right.
And they've won 3 of 4.
Listen, don't they play Miami?
Yeah.
When is
The last game
the
of
last
the year.
game of the year? Miami plays Ravens, Buffalo.
Yeah, and Buffalo has Patriots.
Yeah,
Miami.
so we'll know more about Miami. I'm fine with where they are right now. I kind of think you could put Buffalo third. I don't know. I'm digging that team. Their MVP is Josh Allen.
Yes. This is what I like about Kendall and this power poll. It's based on what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
And right now, Buffalo's a top 5 team in the NFL.
Absolutely
And no
they
one
are.
wants to play them.
Absolutely they are.
If you had your choice, and I know they're in separate divisions, pick your poison, Rams or Bills.
I'd much rather play the Rams. I like the Rams.
Yeah.
But I'd rather
They're
I'd
coming
rather
along-
play-
they're
I'd
coming
rather
around
play the
pretty
Rams.
nice.
Yes, they are.
Next.
All right.
Higher or lower?
Number 5, the Detroit Lions.
Okay. All right. I had Philly there. Detroit. Okay. So then Philly must be 7.
I don't know. They go from 7 to 5.
Who's their MVP?
Yeah, who's their MVP?
I mean, it could be Amon-Ra St. Brown. It could be Sam Laporta. It could be Gibbs. It could be Montgomery. I guess they'll give it to Goff.
What did you have?
Goff.
Wrong. Penei Sewell.
The left tackle.
The
Yeah, I
Pro
wouldn't have
Football Focus's top-rated pass blocker and
Yeah.
run blocker.
Yeah, I wouldn't have had that.
Of all the options, I did not
Yeah.
think that, but yeah, good job by them. Next,
Higher or lower?
the Dallas Cowboys at number 6, 10-5, lost to the Dolphins 22-20. First of all, their MVP.
Which are you on the Cowboys?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's Dak or Micah or CeeDee Lamb. I'm going to go Micah Parsons.
Dak Prescott.
Dak got it. Okay.
I feel like it should have been Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Frankly.
So Philly, he has Philly 7?
I don't know. Yes, he has Philly 7. So Dallas, higher, lower, or just right?
Didn't they get smoked by Philly?
No, they beat Philly.
They just beat Philly recently?
Yeah, they beat Philly the second time. They got smoked.
The first time?
Yeah,
Philly, something's off with Philly.
Yeah. I mean, it just could be that they're at that point in the year where, they're
still 11-4, but their point differential is plus 26. The Cowboys' point differential is plus 165.
Really?
451 scored, 286 against.
I just
undefeated at home.
I find it hard to believe or hard to give them a lot of traction when Mike McCarthy is their head coach. And I feel like it will come back and bite them here at some point.
So he has Philly 7, us 8, KC 9. Are the Rams 10?
Stand by. 7, 8, 9. Yeah, the Rams are 10.
Okay.
We'll get to them.
Okay. All right.
Cowboys higher, lower, or just right?
Yeah, it feels just right, I guess. I kind of think like, right, it's just so wide open. I think
Correct.
the top 10 teams are really good, and the way Baker's playing right now with the Bucks, like I don't think anybody is itching to go to Tampa right now and play against them. It's interesting. I think that's fine for Dallas. I think from 3 down, I think 1 and 2 are set. From 3 to 7, or even 8, the way we're playing right now, you could make a lot of arguments.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you make a lot of arguments and that's what I'm saying. It's so wide open, and even like us, Kansas City, and the Rams, you could make arguments there.
Well,
the Rams beat us.
I mean,
Kansas City struggling.
Which fan base? All right, let me put it this way: which fan base should be more concerned, Philly or Kansas City?
Kansas City. Philly's more talented than Kansas City. Kansas City's got Patrick Mahomes, obviously, and he can neutralize a lot of things that are bad. But you're so used to greatness, and every year they've been spoiled 5 straight AFC championships. Like at some point, it isn't going to happen, and it feels like this is the year. Feels like Kelsey's slowed down, and I don't know if that's a Taylor Swift effect, but he seems to have slowed down a little bit in recent weeks. Mahomes is pressing. They're getting frustrated.
Like,
have nobody. There's not a single scary player on their offense.
And again, let's remember, how old is Travis Kelce?
He's in his 30s.
Yeah. Like, maybe Father Time is starting to catch up here a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially when you know that every defense is planning to stop you. That you are the only, if they take away you, they're not sure that anybody else, can help Patrick Mahomes win.
Yep. Agreed.
So I think it just takes a toll, man. Next.
Higher or lower?
Eagles 7. The Browns are number 8. Do we agree the Browns correctly proportioned
Yeah,
here?
I like that. I
Rated?
like that. So Eagles 7. Eagles MVP. I'm going to say A.J. Brown.
Oh, yeah, you got to go back and look. You would be correct.
Ours, Miles.
Yes.
Kansas City, Mahomes.
So Garrett is only 25th in the league in defensive splash plays, according to True Media. What is True
What's
Media?
True Media?
But only because he's getting more attention than any defender in the league. The Browns have the best defensive success rate, 66.8% of any team since at least 2000, according to True Media. And Garrett is the number one reason.
Yeah. Garrett's a monster. I think this whole top 10 is good, and really 11. I'm curious if who ends up 12. My guess is Jags, Texans are probably in that 12-13 range.
Okay, so 9 is KC. I think
Mahomes.
we all know who the MVP is there.
Yep.
Los Angeles, the Rams. That'll take us to our next one. Higher, lower, or just right for the Rams?
I like it. I think they should be in the top 10. You can put them ahead of Kansas City. I think they'd beat Kansas City right now. Kyron Williams is my MVP guess for them.
Stafford.
Okay.
I don't know about that.
Kyron
But-
Williams is a dude.
In L.A. has won 5 of 6 games. In that span, Stafford has thrown 15 touchdowns and just 2 picks.
Man. Yeah, he's been great. I mean, we saw it.
Boy, did we.
We saw it. Yeah.
Next,
Higher or lower?
at number 11, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Baker's playing great. You got to give him credit. The guy's playing phenomenal football. It's the best he's been since 2020. Mike Evans, I think, is the perfect kind of receiver to be with Baker, and they've had a great connection getting in the end zone every week. The Rashad White's had a nice season at running back, and then their D's doing enough. I don't feel like they're a threat to win the Super Bowl, but they certainly are frisky and fun, and that division, is still it's theirs for the taking, I think, right?
Yes, correct.
They control their own destiny. They're 8-7. Falcons, Saints are 7-8. The Bucks the rest of the way play.
I think that's both NFC
So
opponents.
Saints, Panthers.
Yeah.
So this Saints game is a big
Can they win the
game.
division?
They beat the Saints the first time. If they beat the Saints in this one, I think they would win the division because they beat the Falcons. They split with the Falcons. If they lose, though, then it gets pretty interesting.
I don't know. Tampa Bay's turned things around. I mean, they went through a swoon like in October where I don't know if they won a game in October.
No, they've won 4 in a row. Here's what's crazy about them. They're 8-7. They won their first 2, lost to the Eagles, won the Saints, so they're 3-1. Then they lose 4 in a row, so they're 3-5.
Exactly.
Then they win 4-5. Then they lose 2 more, so they're 4-7, and they've won 4 straight games now. They beat the Panthers, the Falcons, the Packers, and the Jags.
Beat the teams you're supposed to,
Well,
and
yeah.
that's what they're doing.
Saints and Panthers, I mean, if they beat the Saints, it's over. I think that would do it for them.
Next,
Higher or lower?
the Seahawks are number 12.
I think Houston should be higher with C.J. Stroud. I think Houston should be 12th. Seahawks, MVP for the Seahawks.
Not getting this one.
Bobby Wagner.
Jaron Reed.
Oh, the defensive tackle.
Yes. Team leading 7 sacks, 12 quarterback hurries, 49 tackles.
Simsay's guy.
Ah.
Yep.
I believe you have a Simsy guy on tonight
Yep. Duron Harmon. Sure.
on the Kevin
So
Stefanski
it's 13 the Texans then?
13 is the Houston Texans.
Okay, 14 Colts. Man, they've tumbled the Jags. They're beat up, though.
So,
I like the Texans better. I think the Texans are better than Colts. I agree with that.
next.
Their MVP, C.J. Stroud.
Higher or lower?
The Colts are 14. Should they be higher, lower, or are
I
they
think that's just right. I think that's just right. I actually like so far I think these rankings are pretty spot on.
Yeah.
My Colts MVP is Michael Pittman.
DeForest Buckner.
Well, the game they didn't have Michael Pittman in there, they got smoked.
I would agree with that.
Jags will be Trevor Lawrence at 15.
The Jags are not 15.
Not
Hit it, Carmen.
the Steelers.
Higher or lower?
Come on.
The Pittsburgh
No.
Steelers
No.
are 15.
No, they're not.
They are not. He moved them up from 20 to 15. Kendall, you had this whole thing going well here, buddy.
Yeah.
I like
TJ
where
Watt?
you were at.
Or did he give it to Highsmith?
T.J. Watt.
Okay, 15 Steelers, 16 Jags?
16 Jacksonville.
Lawrence.
A lot of 8 and 7s here.
Yeah. 17 is the Bengals.
Who'd you have as your MVP for the Jacksonville?
Lawrence.
No.
What?
Josh Allen.
Oh, he's had a very nice season. He's a good player.
Good player.
All right.
Next up,
Higher or lower?
the Bengals at number 17. If they can get what's-his-face back, wide receiver.
Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he's the
Thank
MVP.
Yes.
All right. 17 Bengals, 18 Falcons.
No.
Good.
Vikings.
Fine. Vikings.
Losing Hawkinson for the year, though, yesterday. I don't know if you saw that news.
MVP Daniil Hunter.
MVP Hawkinson.
What? Daniil Hunter's I think leading the league in sacks and tackles for loss.
Yeah. Hawkinson has been targeted more than any tight end in the NFL.
True.
Has more receiving yards than all of them except Travis Kelce.
True.
And now he's out for the year.
I know.
I mean,
And he's going to be out for the beginning of next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not great. I know. He was my fantasy tight end in one of my teams that's in the
I
championship
mean,
this weekend.
they lost Jefferson for a stretch. Cousins, obviously, for the year. Now Hawkinson for the year. I feel like their luck may have run out.
All right, 19 Falcons.
Next, Carmen.
Higher or lower?
The Denver Broncos.
Come on. They're benching
19.
Russell Wilson.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Denver Broncos. Who's their MVP? Pat Surtain II?
Cortland Sutton.
Cortland Sutton. Okay. 20 is the Packers.
Yep.
Their MVP is going to be Jordan Love.
There you go.
21 the Falcons.
Nope.
I love it.
Saints.
Saints. MVP of the Saints. Chris Olave.
There you go.
Okay. 22 Falcons.
Boy, if you first don't succeed, keep trying. It's the Raiders.
What?
At 22.
I love this. God, this guy hates
7 and 8.
This guy hates Arthur Smith as much as us. MVP, their coach, Antonio Pierce.
Should be. Max Crosby.
Yeah, that's fine. 23 Falcons.
There you go. Falcons, 23.
MVP.
They're gutless. Why would you put them any higher?
MVP, Jesse Bates.
Good call.
All right.
Career high 6 INTs, leads the Falcons with 117 tackles, forced 3 fumbles.
See, that's how free agency is supposed to work. You take somebody from the Bengals, and then you send them to the NFC.
I'm in.
I'm in on that. All right, 24 Bears.
Yep.
MVP, DJ Moore.
Yep.
All right, 25. Let me guess at this. 25 Jets.
Correct.
Jets, MVP. I mean, it kind of feels like it should be Quincy Williams.
Should be.
Sauce, Quinnen Williams.
Nope. CJ Mosley.
Well, he's got 140 tackles. I mean, and he's the guy who has the recognition. Okay, all right, that makes sense. 26, the G-Men.
Yep. Gross.
MVP, Saquon?
Bobby Okereke.
Wouldn't have had that. Off-ball linebacker. Okay. Former Indianapolis Colt.
They could use him.
All right, 27, 28, 29 is the Pats. 30, 31, 32 is Carolina. That's all I have. And now I got to figure out who's a little after. 27 Chargers.
Titans.
Titans, okay. Titans.
5 and 10.
MVP, Derrick Henry.
DeAndre Hopkins.
What? Has he? What?
Hopkins is 26th in the league with 939 receiving yards.
He's 26th in the league. I bet Derrick Henry's better than that for running backs. Okay.
Maybe that's why you're 27th in the power rankings.
All right. 27th.
So now you're 28th.
28. Who did I guess?
You had Tennessee. Tennessee was 27.
Chargers.
28 is the Chargers.
Chargers. MVP. Herbert. Khalil Mack.
Herbert. Should have gone with the first one. Should be the owner that finally blew everybody out.
All right. Pats, we know, are 29.
Yep.
And they stink. MVP, no one.
MVP, Jabril Peppers.
Oh, God. Good for him.
Good for him. Started all 14 this year, 76 tackles, 7 passes deflected.
All right. Now, Arizona's too low. Arizona should be ahead of all of these teams.
Agreed.
Arizona's 30th?
No.
What? That's
The
outrageous.
Commies.
What? Commies are laughable.
I agree.
Commies MVP. Either Jonathan Allen or Deron Payne.
Neither. Curtis Samuel.
What?
Samuel hasn't had a stellar season, 565 yards, but he has provided some stability. Excuse me? Then he can't be the MVP.
That's not an MVP. Unbelievable. Okay. Arizona, MVP.
I can't believe that just happened.
Me neither. That's insane. That's MVP for Arizona. Trey McBride.
Nailed it. By the way,
He's a beast.
yeah, I would say this. There's an argument to be made that Washington is the worst team in the NFL
Agreed.
right now because
Agreed.
Carolina's playing
Arizona
competitive football.
Arizona should be way up.
Correct.
Although the Patriots, they've beaten, who have they beaten recently?
Denver, Christmas Eve.
Denver, and they beat the Steelers in
Yeah.
like a Thursday night that was like a playoff game for the Steelers. Carolina, MVP, Adam Thielen.
Derek Brown. He only has 1 sack.
What are we doing?
What?
I mean, it's great. So you're saying he's a good run stopping defensive tackle. So the things that stand out to me on this list are as follows: that the top 10's really good. I'd even right now put the Bucs in there. The Bucs feel a little bit dangerous right now. The Steelers are way too high. The Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals, are way too low. Patriots need to go down. I mean, aren't the Giants kind of dreadful?
I think so. I mean, they don't have a quarterback. Just ask their coach who keeps benching guys week in and week out.
Yeah. I feel like the DeVito craze, it never, like, at least Jeremy Lin was, like, really good for a while. Like, really good. Like, he's gotten a lot of pub for not a whole lot of delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about the fact that that's what we need to have on here. It's one thing. We need to go through one thing from all the games last week.
I don't know if we have time this week for that.
Time?
I think we
all right.
kind of nixed that given everything else.
Well, one
going.
thing that was crazy was that the Las Vegas Raiders beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City in a game in which their quarterback did not complete a pass after the first quarter. That's true. That's a real thing that happened. Aiden O'Connell's last completion was in the first quarter, and they beat the Chiefs in Kansas City.
What is going on?
Didn't have a completion. Second quarter, no. Third, no.
And by the
Fourth,
way,
no.
I don't know if it's on Kansas City's defense.
How do you not have a completion for 3 quarters? It's insane.
Can't
That was
blame it
their
on the
offense.
defense.
I know. It was right. It's wild. Wild stuff. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, hour number 2 of CBD. Jason Tarver, Browns linebacker coach, should be live in studio with us. We're also going to do a little guess the spread for Week 17. I got to bounce back, although who knows with these quarterbacks? Who knows? This is a tough time of year for people who are fighting with Las Vegas. I have to look at how we did last week. I haven't even looked that up yet. I'll do that in the break. And then we'll go around the league, a little mailbag as well. So get your questions in. Use the hashtag AskCBD. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Ballybet, sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. All right, welcome back to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Bally Bet, a sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns, now live in Ohio. And what a treat it is to have the great friend of the show, Browns linebacker coach Jason Tarver, in the studio with us, getting everybody's energy up, getting pumped up. First of all, how are you doing? How was kind of going down to Houston, getting a big win, flying home, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, getting back to work? Kind of what's this week been like for you?
Well, as we know in football, holidays come in the off season, so it's been all football, which has been great. We, Christmas morning, watched my boys open presents, and they got my wife a couple of things this year, so that was nice of them.
Solid.
With Dad's help, of course.
Yes.
And that was it. Then we're back in the office and we're going. So we're already on half of a Friday, half of a Saturday, and we play tomorrow in our normal week. So we're excited.
Yeah, and I know you are, and you're excited because, number one, national TV, number two, at home, and number three, burying the lead, I guess, win, and you punch your ticket to the playoffs. You win, control your own destiny, have an opportunity to do it. You went down and got a big win in Houston that it set up that scenario, and it felt to me like the team was just so focused. First-team defense doesn't give up a point in the game. I mean, at one point it was 406 yards to 106 late there in the fourth quarter. Do you see the focus of those guys going down there? And what did you think of the performance of this defense and your guys in particular down in Houston?
Well, I really liked how we approached the field every time. Every time we took the field with a mission. Nothing we're battle tested. Nothing bothers us, and we get it's great to watch all of the guys taking the field at any position together. Of how right now they go in and focus, and they don't care what happens. They don't care where the offense gets the ball. They don't care where it is. Our job's to stop them. And that was every drive. Like, it didn't waver in that football game. And as coaches, we're really proud of that mindset, because that's the hardest thing to give your team. That's the hardest thing to build. It's built through time. It's built through people working together. And we are a great example of that right now. And, of course, how we fly around and hit things, which is really fun to watch.
It is very fun to watch. And this was a game you had to go in there without, Anthony Walker Jr., you had to go in there without Jordan Kunaszyk, and so Tok played a bunch in this one. JOK's playing a bunch, and we heard Jim Schwartz say is a guy you're going to be on the field the whole time, and Tony Fields got in there. Even amidst that chaos of having the guy who was the captain and the green dot Anthony Walker out, how did everything go in terms of the communication? And you see Tok come back to Houston where he tore his ACL late last year to lead the team with 7 tackles. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, Sione played really well. As the players know, I'm the hardest grader, or claim to be. Coach Callahan's pretty close. But Sione got 10 pluses in that game and 2 double pluses. It's really hard to get a plus from me and also to do it. He was in the right spot, and he was communicating really well. We didn't know when and if we were going to have Anthony or Jordan with us. So some of the week we had a decision, but Sione's just kept stepping up, and his communication level got better and better and better. And really in that game, his communication was, you're never 100%, you're 99%, but it was pretty close to 99%. So that was really good. And then Jeremiah really gave him a few more roles that he had done at times, and we've started to get him into practice doing it. And he excelled in those roles last week, and he'll keep learning and doing them, getting better the next few weeks. He is continuing to make things that happen to him early in the game, they don't happen to him again. He fixes it, and he hits it fast. And so he keeps staying on that progression, man. We're really excited. Tony Fields is very physical and plays a role for us when he comes in, and we love how he finishes every down unblocked. That's something that you've heard me talk about. We're going to finish it down unblocked. Holding, they're going to hold you, so get off the block and go to the ball. That's our job. That's what linebackers do. And Tone lives that. He had some things to learn from as that game later on. He got some pass game attempts when they were trying to come back.
Sure.
That'll be good learning experiences both for him and Matt Adams, because they hadn't been in those situations. And, Tony had been in more than Matt, but live situations in a game, make the corrections. Now we learn from them. Now we can hopefully close the door better regardless of who's playing, because we need everybody.
Absolutely. Never been more true than 2023 Cleveland Browns. I just want to ask you for Tok. You've gotten to know him your entire time. You guys have been together now 4 years here with the Cleveland Browns. For him to go down and then work as hard as he did to come back, to kind of go back to Houston, exercise those demons, and play a great game, get those grades that he got from you. What did that mean to him, and what did that mean to you, coaching him, knowing everything he's been through to get to that point?
I couldn't be more proud of Sione. Being able to be around the same players for multiple years in the NFL really is special. I've been able to do that in a few stops in my career, and you never forget that. the relationship player to player and player to coach that's why we do this. It's special to help people do things, maybe further than they think they could have done it on their own. And Sione he gets better and better every time. How he can lock in, how he prepares his body, how he interacts with his teammates. Couldn't be more proud.
He's been great. And then let's talk about JOK. I mean, the numbers, 3.5 sacks, career high, 18 tackles for loss, career high, 2 interceptions, career high, 6 passes defense, career high, 90 tackles, career high. We still have 2 games to go. Obviously, there's scheme, there's guys in front of him, but he really seems to have taken the next level. And I'm going to add one for you. I think he might be the most dangerous add-on blitzer in the league right now.
Yeah, Jeremiah is really good when he's in the right alignment and moving forward, as we see, and how quickly he can move through things or around things or whatever. Some of the best things he's doing right now is just how physical he is and getting his hands out in front of his body. He has those long arms, and he's so explosive, and he's really using those well. There's a couple plays in that game that aren't going to show or be in the stat book where he just took people, put them somewhere, and made sure the ball didn't go somewhere, and then got off. It went to the ball and helped. And that's what's been really good. All the way back, Jeremiah's 2 big emphasis was next play becoming his best play. Whatever happens, put it behind you and move on. He's gotten better and better at that.
Yep.
The other thing was getting his body ready to play a whole season, and he did that. He's held his weight. He's gotten stronger as the year went on, which is the goal. Sione's gotten stronger. Jeremiah's gotten stronger. He's done those 2 things, and then now it's put him in a position to where the football can take off, right? You read all the stats. I put in the stats, and all that's great. I don't care. I just want him to go 1 for 1 on each play and run as hard as he can, because when he does that in the right spot, he's really good. So we're proud of where he is, and he's still got more to go, which is continuing to start games better and keep going. But we're definitely loving his progression. He had a couple games in the middle of the year where he wasn't quite as good, and what I'm very proud of him that he did is he locked in. He came. He said, "Coach, what do I got to do?" He said, "What do I got to do to stay on the field? What do I got to do?" And I said, "Well, you can't have repeat mistakes, because there's a couple repeat mistakes. And you know what, since it's cleaned up." So his ability to lock in, that's it. That's what becoming a really good pro is, when you can lock in and go, my next play is going to be my best play no matter what. And Jeremiah's living this right now.
I love it. Well, and when you think about the best linebackers in the league, and it feels like we've played against teams with great linebackers pretty much week in and week out. This week will be no exception. C.J. Mosley, a Pro Bowler, having a great season. Again, they play every snap. The top off-ball linebackers play every snap. And for JOK, started off at a high percentage, then kind of dipped in the middle of the season, as you talked about, and he's earned his way back, and now he's getting close to being out there 100% of the time.
Yeah, there's still we're not worried about snap counts in our room. There's still certain packages that we're going to put players on the field or off the field at all positions. And really, the way we function a little bit in our substitution packages, we're positionless. Jeremiah could be in the same spot as 3-7, 3-0, any of the safeties. We can all do the same thing based off of what's needed. So there's gonna be some where you're off a play, or if it's a big heavy
or
group,
just close to it. I'm saying
we're not worried about that. I wouldn't say that. What happens is as you learn how to handle that, next play being the best play, then your coaches and everybody else will allow you to stay on there.
Yeah, they want
but
you.
What happened with him is a progression that happens with a lot of players. They you think you're doing okay, but then things get at you and you mess up the same things. And that's when, as a coach, you're going to put somebody else in. And then the great ones say, okay, I'm not that I don't want that to happen anymore. I'm going to go make a play. And that's what he did, and he's continuing to do. So keep doing it, Jeremiah. It's awesome.
It is awesome. How much fun is this team to be around? Duran, we were talking about it before we went on the air. I got to interview Duran Harmon. That'll be on the Kevin Stefanski show tonight. Shameless plug, 7 to 8 o'clock on the University Hospital's Cleveland Browns Radio Network. You'll hear from him. You'll hear from the coach. He's 3-time Super Bowl champion. Obviously, he was part of that Patriots dynasty. Nickname is the closer, makes big plays. And he said that, coming here, this locker room is unlike any locker room he's been around, that it's special, that there is a bond, a brotherhood, a camaraderie, and accountability to one another, that even in those great New England teams, he said this is still a unique locker room to him. So what's it like kind of being around it and as a coach observing it? What's happening in that locker room?
Well, first, 3-0, man, he is the closer. We love him. He's really honest, and he'll say, I don't know if he hasn't been here forever. So he'll say, I don't know, or how do you word that, coach? And working with players, he's an ultimate pro. He just wants to fix things, and then he'll be in how we discuss things. Like even today in the walkthrough, we're over at the TVs when the offense is up working on their stuff, and everybody is fixing things together, players and coaches. There isn't anybody that's it is just working together. It's really unique.
Awesome.
It's again, it comes from being battle tested, from having things happen to you together, but also having the mindset of all that matters is going 1-0 every week. And this team lives that. And you asked, the start of the question was, how fun is it? This is what, if you could just put this into teams, then, you'd be the greatest coach of all. Like you can't. It's developed. And when it happens, it is a blast to be around because all everybody cares about is fixing it, getting it right. And it doesn't matter what happens finishing games. I mean, we don't even care. If they score, fine. We'll freaking stop them the next time. We'll get them.
Yeah, like the Chicago game. I mean, that was a great example of the resiliency.
Playing.
Yeah,
it's really, really cool.
It is cool.
I almost said a bad word. I got so excited.
I love that very much. One of the things when I was talking with Duran that he told me, I said, what was it like coming in and feeling welcome? And he said, Sione Takitaki was one of the first guys that went up to him and was like, I've looked you up. Your nickname is the closer, 3-time Super Bowl champ. And Duran was like, whoa. Like, that's pretty cool, that even different rooms, and now I know in our defense a lot of times safeties are linebackers and whatnot, but I thought that was kind of a neat little anecdote. There's a guy in your room, leadership, all of it, to be able to go up to him and say, I've already checked you out and we're pumped to have you here.
Yeah, that's what our guys do. I mean, Sione's been unbelievable with that, but that's in the room. That is just – it's how we interact, how coaches and players go together, and that's what we expect them to do.
Yeah.
We expect them to be good teammates and good humans and know about everybody else and care. And what's cool is they all do. We don't have to push that part very far. That's how we're built.
Yeah. Well, you can see it. I mean, it even though at the end of that game, when things did not necessarily go the way we wanted, when we made some personnel changes and decided with the short week we were going to pull the principal guys, they were all on the sidelines watching, cheering, completely engaged, wanting the younger guys to do well.
Oh yeah, there isn't any ones, twos, anything. It's just who's on the field, which we can only put 11 on the field. That's all we get.
Yeah.
So whatever 11's on the field, do your 1/11th and let's roll.
Let's roll. It's fun to see. What does it mean to kind of come back home in front of these home fans? We've been so good at home, 7-1. There's got to be something going on. The home crowd advantage. People like sleeping in their own beds, I guess. But our defense has been lights out. A chance to do at home. 2020. We clinched the playoffs against the Pittsburgh Steelers at Cleveland Browns Stadium. There are 10,000 people there midst of COVID. Then we go on the road playoff game. Nobody's there. To be able to do this in front of what will be a full house, the whiteout, raucous on Thursday night, to have that opportunity, how special is that?
Oh, it's special. We've been talking about that as players and coaches, and we are so excited to bring this battle-tested team home at night with a chance, like you said, to go 1-0 and go where we want to go, get the process started of getting where we want to go. I mean, we've been talking about it. We want to put on a show. I think since I've been here, the home crowds have only gotten better and better. We feed off the home crowd. They feed off of us. And it's only getting better and better. I can't wait to see everybody. I mean, we're all going to be on the sidelines getting our arms up, getting everybody ready to go, too. So we need you. We love you. Let's go.
Let's go. That's right. I was talking with Zadarius Smith earlier today, and he said, what wins championships? And I was like, team? No. He's like, defense wins championships. And we're going to get this defense going and get this crowd fired up on Thursday night. Coach, always a pleasure to have you in here in the studio with us. Thank you for all you do for this football team, for us here on the show, and for all of our great fans.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Always great to be here. Go Browns.
Go Browns. The great Jason Tarver, our linebacker coach of that number 1 ranked defense in the National Football League. Congratulations to our 2023 Browns Fan of the Year, Kathy Heibel. Kathy is a retired elementary school PE teacher, and we surprised her with a tour of our practice facility where she met Joel Batonio, Joe Thomas, Drew Davidstone, and me. Davidstone. You like that? Drew Davidstone? That's actually a good little – I like that. That was an accident, happy accident. We're excited to send Kathy to the Super Bowl, and she represents the Browns for a chance to be named the NFL's Ultimate Fan of the Year. Head to clevelandbrowns.com/fan of the year 2024 to learn more. Kathy, congrats. All right, we'll be back with more Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Bally Bet right after this. Browns Daily, brought to you by Bally Bet, a sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns, now live in Ohio. For a team of injury lawyers dedicated to every client every day on every level. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. Elk is a proud
Coach
partner
almost had
of
one
the
of those.
Cleveland Browns. He almost did. I love when he comes in
almost
here.
did a couple things.
I love when he's in here. He gives a lot of juice. Like, he comes in here, he raises the energy level of everybody, and it's fun. It's fun to be a part of. Tarv's legend. Absolute legend. All right. A little bit from around the league, Gibbe, and if anything else that has happened recently that I don't have, let me know. The Broncos are benching Russell Wilson for the final 2 weeks of the season to preserve their financial flexibility for the offseason. And this, to me, this is a stunner, right? Is this not a stunner?
Yeah. All about saving money.
So
And
because
it could get the wheels in motion to ultimately get rid of the quarterback.
Here's the well, yes, because if he gets injured in these 2 games, they're on the 30 whatever million is guaranteed. Denver is not eliminated technically from the playoffs. Do they have a very difficult path to there? Yes, but they're 7-8, and right now 8-7 is in the playoffs. The Denver Broncos have an opportunity to go to the playoffs and are saying that opportunity to go to the playoffs, we would rather risk that than play Russell Wilson.
That can't
Who's
sit
starting
well
for
with
them?
the fan base.
Who's
Stidham.
Stidham. Wow. Okay. Stidham starting. In the NFC East, the Commies benching Sam Howell for Jacoby Brissett, who's played very well, by the way, whenever he's coming to games. And the Giants are benching Tommy DeVito for Tyrod Taylor.
So there's another development, and I'm getting bits and pieces of it.
Okay.
But there is a suspension.
For?
The Packers have suspended corner Jair Alexander for 1 game.
What? Why?
For conduct detrimental to the team.
Wow.
Jair Alexander crashed the coin toss against Carolina and almost screwed up the coin toss. He wasn't supposed to be out there.
Okay.
According to this is so I'm trying to pull it up here. Like
they suspended him for going out on the coin toss?
Yes.
That seems wild to me.
I wish I could find. Oh, here it is. The Green Bay Packers have suspended star corner Jair Alexander 1 game for conduct detrimental to the team for crashing the coin toss prior to the game against the Panthers. After the game, Alexander said he did it because he's from Charlotte. He crashed it and then, tried to make the call, I guess. And they were like, what are you doing?
They're suspending him for a game for that?
Yeah. I guess, I don't know if the Packers won the toss or lost the toss, but they were like, what do you want to do? And he's like, we're going to do this. And they're like, whoa, no. What is he doing out here?
That's unbelievable. Is
Yeah.
that the first time that's ever happened in the league?
I don't know. It's developing still.
That is wild.
It is crazy.
That's wild. That's completely insane. That is totally bonkers. All right.
By the way, from Spot Track,
Yep.
a pre-March 17th release for Russell Wilson would mean $85 million of dead cap in 2024. Designating him a post-June 1st release means a $35 million cap hit in 2024 and a $49 million cap hit in 2025. Why would you – what are you doing?
So what's it if they cut him before June 1st? Because you can't cut him post June 1st, obviously.
It would mean $85 million of dead cap, $39 million cash in 2024.
So they're
Either
stuck.
way, they're calling it an unprecedented release if it were to happen.
Yeah, they're stuck.
So why not play him?
I don't understand. I don't understand.
It doesn't make any sense at all.
No, it makes no sense. It's totally insane is what it is.
Yeah. Okay. None of it makes any sense. Jacoby Brissett getting another chance to start. Love it. I don't think it matters. Unfortunately, they're going to blow that whole thing up.
Yeah. No. He's not going to be a starter, but it's a good thing for him. I'm excited for him.
Do you want to play a little guess the spread?
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it. Got to get back. I feel like this could be a tough week. So this is week 17. So we're 11-5. We were 11-4. We lost last week. Last week was a down week for us.
Last week was rough for you.
It was rough.
Let's kick things off with Thursday night foosball. Browns, Jets, Cleveland Browns Stadium. Browns, a chance to secure a playoff game.
Let's go, Browns. That feels like Browns -7.
-7.5. Good job.
Win.
We're off to a good start.
Start. Yep.
I'm rooting for you this week.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
It's a short week. It's the holidays. I gotta do something.
Nana will be most pleased.
There you go. By the way, did you thank Nana for me?
I did. I did. Yes.
The jam was.
It's
home
so
run.
good. It's good.
Stupid good.
It's good. You need a knife though. You can't throw. If you stick something in there, it's gonna break it.
Correct.
But you get the knife out and get a little. Oh yeah.
Yep.
It's a tasty treat. My buddy the cook made us some like homemade spicy pita chips, and I put it on that. Oh my god! Last night it was a delight. The
That
great
doesn't
AB.
suck.
Look at him. He's having the time of his life. He was all smiles. Did you see all the videos of him clapping on CBS? By the way, also a chain guy. Did you see it?
Maybe Miss K knew something.
Let's go.
I love how you put it kind of
Let's
in your
go.
shirt, but it's not
It's
in
not?
your shirt.
No,
It's
we'll
not
put
in
it-
at all.
I'll put it out. There you go. Hey.
Make them know your name.
That's right.
Hey.
Hey. All right, here we go.
Saturday, we do have a Saturday game.
Okay.
8:15,
'Kay.
ABC, ESPN, Leons, Cowboys.
Ooh, that's a good game.
It's actually a really good game.
Detroit
Playoff
at
positioning.
Dallas.
Yes.
Dallas they get that Cowboys bump -3.5.
Cowboys -6.
What?
-6.
That seems outrageous.
That's a lot.
Yep.
I mean, that's a good game.
That's outrageous.
That is giving the Lions no respect.
That's outrageous.
The Sunday's games. 1 o'clock. I can't believe this game is not like a prime time or late afternoon, especially given the fact that the Sunday night game is, I believe, Vikings-Packers. Sunday at 1 o'clock, Dolphins-Ravens in Baltimore.
Ravens -5.5.
Ravens -3.5.
Why is that Cowboys line what it is then?
Yeah, the Cowboys one doesn't make any sense at all.
Okay.
All right, so you're 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Next up, the 1 o'clock games on New Year's Eve. Patriots visiting the Bills. I feel like a trap game for Buffalo. Don't get caught looking ahead to Miami the way New England's play.
Patriots at Bills.
Patriots at Bills.
Bills -10.
Bills -12.
Yeah, that's an impossible one to get without looking. 12 is if it's in the that's impossible.
It's a big number.
Well,
Big
it's off of 10 or 14. Normally when they go big, they just go 10 or 14.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, 1 and 3. Got some work cut out for us.
I think you're in focus. Look at the camera.
Is it? It's because of the.
I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah,
Could be the chain
Could
throwing
be.
it off.
Yeah.
1 o'clock, Falcons, Bears. Maybe draft positioning more than playoff.
In
aspirations.
Chicago?
In Chicago. CBS has this game, by the way.
The Bears -3.
Right on.
All right. 2 and
Welcome
3.
back.
There we go.
1 o'clock, a big one. Raiders visiting Indianapolis and the Colts. There's some good little Sunday foosball watching.
Colts -5.
Colts -3.5.
What?
The Raiders don't have a quarterback. What are you guys
a
doing?
pass for 3 quarters. Huh.
Yeah. We have good games, and then we have this game. Panthers 2-13 on the year, visiting the 8-7 Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jags are slumping right now, but the Panthers stink. Jags -7.
6.5.
3 and 4. All right, come on.
Here we go. Hopefully the Texans get C.J. Stroud back. I feel like it's trending that way. Texans 8-7 hosting the 5-10 Titans. Payback for those uniforms.
Texans are home against the Titans. Texans -5.
-4.5.
Okay. 4-4. Let's go.
4-4. We're back, baby.
We're back. We're back in the mix.
1 o'clock. Los Angeles. The Rams headed east to battle Tyrod Taylor and the New York Football Giants. Must-win game for the Rams.
Rams minus. I don't think it's going to be 7. It's more than 3. Rams minus 5.
Minus 4.5.
Oh, baby. All right, 5 and 4.
By the way, the coaching job that guy has done.
McVay. Yeah.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
We had them. We thought they were the worst team in the NFC West.
And they were going to trade Stafford. Yeah, he's been really good. He's been elite.
Yep. 1 o'clock. The Arizona Cardinals coming east to visit the Philadelphia Eagles. If the Eagles ever needed a get-right game, this should be it.
Eagles minus 10.
Minus 10.5.
Okay.
6 and 4.
3 more. 3. We need to go 3 and 3 on these final 6.
1 o'clock.
God, a lot
New
of 1
Orleans
o'clock.
visiting Tampa Bay. Really good 1 o'clock games.
Tampa minus 3.
Right on it.
All right.
The 49ers hitting the road after their whooping on Monday night. They head east to battle the Washington Commanders.
Oh, my God.
Speaking of big numbers.
Oh, my God. Niners minus 14.5.
Bit off more than you could chew there, buddy. 49ers minus 13. Still an enormous number.
Yeah, but like, isn't Bills Patriots 12?
Yeah.
Niners are on the road though, I guess.
They're factoring in maybe the west to east and the 1 o'clock, which means 10 a.m. in San Fran. I don't really know. That's a big matzo ball. To the late afternoon games on New Year's Eve, there are only 3 of them. The Pukers headed west to battle Seattle. 8-7 v. 8-7, maybe an elimination game here.
Yeah, if Seattle wins that game, we're in, regardless of our outcome. Seattle minus 3.
Minus 3.5.
Perfect. All right, we're at 8. All right, guaranteed
8-5.
draw. Just got to get one of the last 3.
Correct. 4:25, America's game. Bengals, Chiefs, 8-7, 9-6 from Arrowhead.
Kansas City minus 7.
Right on the number.
Let's go.
Winner.
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 Chicken
Winner.
dinner.
Winner. That one, their lines have been 9 or 10 every game, but they've been bad. So I was like, I guess 7.
Take it down a couple.
Yeah. All right, let's see if I can keep going. Let's see if I can get to double digits.
You got 2 left here.
Yep.
Broncos 7-8 hosting the 5-10 Los Angeles Chargers at 4:25. Chargers at Broncos.
With Russ in there, I would have said like 7. Without Russ, I'm going to say 3.5.
Minus 3. Get you to 10.
All right, we're 10 and 5.
I still feel like that's a big number, but I don't know. The
I
Chargers
have no
are just
idea.
awful.
I'm stunned. I know that the injury guarantee, and that's what everybody's worried about, but like if you cut him, the dead money's there. So I don't really understand. It fully guarantees his 2025 salary if he gets hurt, sitting and make sure he doesn't get injured and invoke that. I know.
You're still in the playoff hunt.
Yeah. I
Like,
guess.
if everybody goes out and lays an egg this weekend and you win, you're right there. I don't understand this move.
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football, a game that I think we all thought would have been flexed, should have been flexed. We've gone through these. There are at least 2 or 3 options. Packers 7-8 at Vikings 7-8. This one definitely an elimination game. Maybe not a win and in, but definitely an elimination game. From the best stadium in America,
the league.
not
Yeah.
Cleveland Browns Stadium. That is not Cleveland Browns.
Vikings minus 1.5.
Vikings minus 2. That would
All
be
right.
what we call an 11-5
Be a big
winner.
Yeah, we really bounced back nicely there. Big 11-5. All right. When we come back, the mailbag. Be sure to check out the Browns social media channels daily to play the Browns digital scratch-off game for your chance to win club seats and other great prizes presented by the Ohio Lottery, the official lottery of the Cleveland Browns. When we come back, Mailbag Wednesday, Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Ballybet. Browns fans, get into Cleveland Browns Stadium quicker on game days with Express Access presented by Verizon. Enroll for free today to enter through exclusive lanes at each gate. Go to the Tickets tab in the Browns mobile app to learn more. Time now for Mailbag Wednesday, presented by Cross Country Mortgage, the official mortgage partner of the Cleveland Browns. When it comes to financing, we always get you home. Visit ccm.com today. Equal housing opportunity, NMLS 3029. Give it.
I noticed that you already put to bed the one question. Iron will relax.
Yeah. Bo's on vacation,
Bo's
folks.
literally
He's just
on
on
vacation
vacation.
this
That's
week.
all. Just on vacation.
Yeah. I think is it Bootsy's birthday this week?
Yeah. Coming
like
up.
he's got
kids' birth. He's got a lot going on.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on. He'll be back with us on Friday.
Yes.
Hopefully a celebratory Friday.
I certainly do hope so.
I mean, it could be the mother of all Fridays.
It could be an epic Friday. Playoff clinching Friday. I don't think we've ever had that.
Scores.
We never had that. Scores, playoff clinching, all of it.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, he'll be back. Everybody relax.
Yeah, I saw that. I had to. I was like, wait.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mike Noose tweets at the show. Carmen, give me a little traveling music underneath this. Hey, guys, Browns win tomorrow and Ravens win this weekend. What players, if any, would you rest against the Bungles? I wouldn't dress Miles, Cooper, Denzel, or Batonio at a minimum. Let's just win tomorrow night.
Let's win tomorrow, and let's worry
that.
about all of that stuff later. Here's the thing for me is part of this is rhythm-based, and you've got a good rhythm. My guess is you might need to win that game to stay in the 5 seed.
Correct.
And you want to be in that 5 seed.
Yeah.
So let's win, and then we'll figure out everything else.
Correct.
Let's just win first, though.
Winning takes care of it all.
Yes.
Underdog tweets at the show at Browns_Daily. Is Amari Cooper the best wide receiver the Cleveland Browns have ever had? They have a long list of pretty amazing wide receivers. Is he one of the better ones we've ever had? Yes.
For sure. In the modern era, yes. Josh Gordon had a singularly great season where he led the NFL in receiving. Braylon Edwards had the year he had the 16 touchdowns. In this modern era, absolutely. I mean, you got to go back to like Paul Warfield, but Amari Cooper
Slaughter in the 80s put together some monster numbers.
I mean, let's see. Amari's a 4-time Pro Bowler, 7,000-yard seasons. I mean, he is elite. He's elite. He would be on the Mount Rushmore of Cleveland Browns receivers ever, for sure.
Yes. H. Snyder tweets at the show, can we get Pierre Strong the ball more? I'd be in favor of that.
I like it. I think he's dangerous. I like the way that he operates. So let's see. But, yeah, I like what he's doing so far.
At Jag DAP, does Myles Garrett need 2 to 3 more sacks to lock in Defensive Player of the Year race? Love the show, gents. Let's go Browns.
Thank you.
Maybe a couple game-changing plays. I don't know if it needs to be a sack per se.
For Myles?
Yeah.
People who watch the tape know he's got the most pressures in the NFL over the last 4 weeks, even though he doesn't have a sack. Myles is dominant. I do think it would help him to get to 16 sacks. So I think if he could get 3 in these last 2 games and get to the point where you're talking about, him and Reggie White as the only people to ever do something in the league, I think that helps his case. But he's been phenomenal. He's been phenomenal. It just stinks 5 games without a sack. It's tough. It's a strange drought, and it stinks for him because I know he wants to do that and get to the 16. And people are so scared. Now Simeon, he's going to just try to get the ball out of his hands real quickly, much like Case Keenum did. And so I think the Browns will have a good chance to make some plays on defense like they did in that game and really be suffocating.
Richie Fox.
Ned.
Who has been the most impressive rookie down the stretch and why?
Most impressive rookie down the stretch and why?
That be
Ronnie Hickman.
Hickman? I was going to say.
Yeah, I'm going to go Ronnie Hickman. I think Ronnie Hickman's been excellent, filling in 3 games at free safety and a single high defense, that we play. I think he's been spectacular. Ronnie Hickman's been great, and you even talk to the coaches about it. They're all that Ronnie Hickman that's a dude, that's a player. He's been great. I think Cam Mitchell's made some big plays. I like the way Cedric Tillman has developed and come along. So yeah, those would be the guys for me.
Let's see. Both teams of your youths have been beaten by Gibby's teams in his youth. Not to try and chalk up wins for Gibby, but has he ribbed you guys for this? It'd be a shame since you're now Browns fans on every level.
Is he calling the Ravens the team of your youth?
I would hope not. I can assure you that they are not.
I mean, I think he is, right? I think that's the implication, because the team of my youth was the Niners, and the only team that's beaten them recently is the Ravens.
No, my team plays here.
Yeah, your team's the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
Gibbe. Right? Am I wrong? Hold on. The Niners lost 3 in a row in the middle of the season, which was Browns, Vikings, Bengals. None of those are the team of your youth. So it's got to be the Ravens.
Richie, that's how you get blocked, buddy.
Ned.
I'm just going to tell you, man, that don't ever call that team the team of my youth. They don't they're
Gibbe's no fan of the Ratbirds.
No.
Oh.
Little Bobby time here on a
Hey,
Wednesday.
Bobby.
Oreos wants to make the grossest cookie flavor ever. What flavor would you pick? How about why can't I pick the best one? What
For like the cream filling, vomit.
I don't, Bobby.
I don't think you're going to sell many of those.
No.
By the way.
What is your favorite decade and why?
In my life?
The 90s was a pretty good run for me.
90s was great. That was high
the
school
early
and college
2000s
for me.
Also, I thrived pretty well.
What about this decade? The Browns are about to go to the playoffs. Win the playoffs in 2020? Starts on the 0, right? 0 through 9?
I think so. That's how that works.
Let's go. Right now. Living our best lives.
What movie or show do you keep rewatching? Depends on the time of year.
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
I just started a new show, actually, called Drops of God, which is, we just started that last night.
Sounds intense.
So it's about, I love wine. It's about a guy who has, like, the greatest wine collection in the world, like, valued at over $148 million wine collection, dies. He's estranged from his daughter, and then he has a protege in the wine business that's like his, like, adopted son, basically. And so he dies, and in the will, he sets up a test, basically a contest over the course of, like, months, 3 tests, and whoever comes out and wins this between his daughter and this wine protege of his gets the whole collection.
Really?
So the first episode was pretty intense. It was awesome. So I'm into it.
Preston, and we're up against it here. You get to take one player from one of the AFC teams eliminated from playoff contention. New England, the Jets, Tennessee, or the Chargers, and add them to the Browns for the playoff run. Who would you add? You only get one. Good question, Preston.
I think I might go with, you'd want, obviously, Sauce Gardner is really good, but I feel like our corners are a strength. I think if you throw Quinnen Williams on that defensive line and have Miles, Quinnen Williams, Dalvin, and
is there an offensive
Za'Darius? I was thinking about that. I don't know the roster. Maybe isn't there's a guy that's on the Chargers.
Slater?
Yeah, Slater.
From Northwestern?
That's pretty good. Rashawn Slater, yeah. I don't know. I just think, like, we're going to win in a particular style, so let's go. Now, another option, I'll just throw one more, would be Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, that changes things.
Already has chemistry with Flacco from last year. Maybe RD is – I think Quinnen Williams would make us, like, absurd. We're already absurd. Yeah, give me Garrett Wilson. Breece Hall's an interesting one, too, because I wouldn't mind a little bit of a runner, but we'll see. That's a good question. I like that one. Many ways to go there. Tune in for a special Wednesday night edition of the Kevin Stefanski Show tonight from 7 to 8 with Gerard Cherry and I on the University Hospital's Cleveland Browns Radio Network. Head coach Kevin Stefanski and Brown safety Deron Harmon join us as we preview Thursday night football with the Jets. So much more to come. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Bally Bet. All right, Browns and Jets, Thursday night football. Win, and you are in. It's going to be a whiteout. Get there early. Pace yourselves. Be ready. This could be a fun night, Cleveland. And
Big day tomorrow on CBD. Some luminaries, the Hoff.
Oh,
maybe
baby.
A few little guests from national TV stopping by.
Oh, my.
Big full preview day as we get you ready.
All right, big preview here again tonight. The Kevin Stefanski Show, special Wednesday edition, 7 to 8. Gerard Cherry, Kevin Stefanski, Brown safety, Duron Harmon, the closer. We'll preview Thursday Night Football, talk about the win over the Houston Texans, and much, much more. On behalf of Gibbe, I'm Nathan Zgura, thanking you for listening to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Bally Bet. The next level is next.